I don't consider myself to be a social panda or anything, but I think I speak for everybody when I say that blind dating is just stupid. You spend your entire morning in front of a mirror getting ready for your song and dance, only for your date to show up late wearing sweatpants and be more interested in whatever is on her phone the entire evening. Well, guess what, lady? 2 can play at that game because I just installed HuniePop 2 on my laptop. HuniePop 2 Double Date is the latest match-free dating game from developer Honeypot. And if you're wondering about my feelings towards its predecessor, then perhaps this screenshot would help clarify things. Yeah, I may have some issues. Let me know what you think, leave a comment below. The game does theoretically have a functioning story, the same way Britain theoretically has a functioning government. And here is a quick summary. You are the player, a former introvert, now full-time gigolo, whose sole purpose in life is to explore the planet and discover new forms of STDs. I mean new forms of lovemaking. Unbeknown to you, however, an intergalactic existential threat in the form of 2 gigantic space nymphos is right on the horizon. And as the 5-time Nobel Prize winner for international lady pleasing, you happen to be the most qualified individual to defend the planet and tame these horny space cougars. Nice. How much any of this bullshit makes sense to you will vary from player to player. As for me personally, I lost track of the story somewhere about 15 seconds into the game when the flight attendant offered me a Hummer on the plane. So that's what happens when I max out my frequent flyer card. Well, regardless of your opinions on the story, it's time to show off your match-free swagger. But this isn't going to be just another weekend booty call, no sir, for you see, these intergalactic man-eaters come as a pair. So you and your naughty love fairy are gonna have to work twice as hard in preparing you for this incredibly perilous, yet sexy mission to save the planet. And when I say preparing you, I mean signing up for anonymous threesomes while she secretly watches on the sidelines, quietly touching herself. Oh Q, don't ever change. As the title suggests, the main draw of HuniePop 2 is the fact that you get to date 2 girls at once, meaning that in addition to showing your kick-ass match-free skills, you've also got to manage your time juggling between both dates. And you know, I gotta say, it's really progressive of these developers to tailor their game towards people who like to defy traditional relationship standards. And to all you naysayers, I simply have this to say. Come on. It's called sharing. You're supposed to have learned that in kindergarten. Now, I'm sure a lot of my returning viewers would like to point out how much of a hypocrite I am for enjoying this game, as in earlier videos I mentioned that I only play sophisticated games with good storytelling, and the writing in this game is about as sophisticated as a Michael Bay script written in crayon on the back of a McDonald's lunch tray. Well, my dear viewers, I would like to respond by saying that the inner philosopher in me believes that games are capable of being more than just simple stories, and instead can offer us valuable life lessons through their gameplay alone. I like to think that HuniePop 2 tries to teach us how fun it is meeting new people as adults, or the importance of putting some thought into the gifts you buy for your loved ones. No? Not buying into any of my bullshit? Well, okay. You can't blame me for trying. The gameplay itself should be quite familiar to the veteran match-free players. You impress your dates through gift giving and joining matching symbols until you've scored enough points for everybody's clothes to come off. Simple HuniePop logic, bada bing bada boom. The key difference this time around, however, is that since your character possesses more mojo than the entire MCU, every move you make depletes some of your date's stamina, forcing them to eventually take a break from your overwhelming swagger. This new game mechanic somewhat encourages players to spend time planning out their moves in order to get the most efficient matches and is a welcome feature in this genre of games. However, the added micromanagement does jack up the difficulty curve quite significantly, especially if you're a hardcore panda like myself and play on the hardest settings. But eventually you'll get the hang of it, at which point you'll be getting all the bitches in no time. The one thing that did feel missing from this game was the lack of unlockable characters, which is such a shame as it was a major part of progression in the original HuniePop, working your way from dating a college cheerleader, then her mother, and then eventually the goddess Venus herself. In fact, the only thing we can work towards in HuniePop 2 are some new hairstyles and costumes, which is nice and all, but let's face it fellas, when the time comes to get down and busy, are we really gonna notice or care what they're wearing? All being said, I love this game. HuniePot is a developer that really seems to understand my sense of humor. However, I got to admit that it feels like we somewhat ran into a wall here. I mean, where do we even go from here? It's pretty obvious we can't keep increasing the number of girls we make love to simultaneously, as we will eventually run out of body parts to share, nor am I sure how we can possibly escalate from intergalactic sex apocalypse. I just hope they don't pick up Ubisoft's bad habits and start remastering old titles every time the cocaine bucket dries up. Whoa, hang on, stop everything. Where the fuck is Aiko? Q? Why is our sexy Asian physics teacher not in this game? Seriously, HuniePot? How could you have forgotten your most beloved character? I mean, I've literally spent money buying her body pillow, and you can't even include her in your game? Ah crap, did I just say that on the internet? Yikes, it's times like this I'm so glad my parents don't speak English.